Who's ready for Monday? Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh God, he
Weather
can't even.
me
If he
this.
laughs because he can't even get it out, we know it's going to be one of those days.
Weathering Pigments are live,
Did
and
you just say weather me this?
weather me this.
As in like riddle me this?
Yes.
But weather me this?
Whether you not, whether you weather me be, whether you weather this base.
Whether you weather this face.
There you go.
Hello,
Ladies and gentlemen,
chat.
Hey, welcome. We're bringing Mondays back. The first ever Monday giveaway in the history of our time.
Have we not done a Monday yet?
No, we've
Usually
done it every week.
Because we forget until Tuesday.
I don't ever forget.
Oh,
I tried to do
It's always
all
done
the
on
days.
purpose.
I've always done all the days.
Okay. So what you're saying is
Monday.
okay. So I have to preface this whole Pigment launch with one. And let me put him out here,
Oh,
just
gosh.
so that I can move this big beast, right?
Yes, that's true. He's huge. Tracts of land.
Huge.
Tracts
of land.
Bring us the.
So I have to do the lead in, chat.
The lead in.
With here you go, the real deal, sealed, signed, sealed, batch numbered, and delivered.
Yes, and I pre-opened these for you so that.
Oh, they're not sealed.
No, they are. They
Oh.
have the little seal thing on them. I just opened them for you.
So they're not sealed.
They technically are sealed.
So if I open this and it's
Yeah.
oh okay.
Yeah, the seal. The O-ring seal. There you go. Yeah.
Woo!
Do not do that.
Yeah, don't snort the pigment.
Do not do that.
Don't, especially not the white one. So
Oh my god.
I have a simple ask, chat, and this is going to be a surprise for Chris.
Oh great. Here we go.
Okay.
Surprise.
These
surprise.
pigments, there is a goal for these pigments,
Yeah.
and we're hoping to not have to open a GoFundMe to hit our goal.
Okay.
But here's the goal. I have found a nice little chateau with a bungalow attached in the mountains that I feel would be the precise spot best suited for the future of the stream. A full-on studio in the hills, right? Overlooking all of the Phoenix Valley.
Oh.
Perfect night views to inspire creativity. We're gonna have Chris shack up in the little bungalow out back. He's gonna be the groundskeeper because he likes trees and grass. So that's how he's gonna earn his keep. And then he won't have to walk but like 50 paces to get to the studio because it has a studio there. And so pigments were released in order to pay for this.
Oh.
Basically.
Oh, I thought you were gonna take these and put them in the studio.
No, they got to pay for the studio somehow.
I see.
So we need you to each order, by my math.
By your math.
By my math.
Got it.
I need for everybody in this chat to order about 1,000 of each color.
Well, I don't. That's a lot of pigment.
Hey, you know what? It's called planning ahead. Doomsday prepping, we call this in the land of TV.
I think
is that you can never be prepared enough until you buy 1,000.
Okay.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And I'll do 10% off.
Okay.
10%.
Sure.
1,000. And he gets to be Magnum PI. Yeah, the pool boy.
Okay. I guess so.
Somebody smells BS. Rattle can, hush. You hush.
All right.
Everybody says, Chris, give us your credit card number and we'll make it happen. If Chris's credit card can buy this house I'm looking at, then we need to have a different conversation.
Where'd you look?
What's the interest rate?
Where'd you look? The
Huh?
interest rate? 6% right now?
How much?
6%?
Your credit card?
No.
I was going to say it's better than a house, but you go buy the house on your credit card.
No, I thought you meant on the mortgage for this bungalow.
Oh. Well, I mean, nobody's going to loan me that much money.
Bungalow?
I'm made of, like, duct tape and bubble gum, Chris. I don't know if you know this about me. Nobody's giving me a loan.
Where? Okay, let me address the people. Speaking of the people, here you go. It's a giveaway day, too. We're also giving away something today. And guess what it is? I can take a wild guess. Hold on. What do you think, Jason? We're giving away We're giving away something else. No, I'm kidding. It's a weathering pigment set. You get all 8. That's what we're doing today. So make sure you sign up for that giveaway.
A figment of pigment. Is it 1,000 of each? Yes, 1,000 of each, meaning that you would wind up with 8,000 bottles.
First of all, this bungalow doesn't exist.
What would Brian Boitano do if he were here right now? What?
I was actually looking at some land up by my house that was more that way towards the 17, but had a little house on it.
Come back to civilization, Chris.
I want to get out there.
We have cake.
Cake.
And less drive time. Like, you know what's better is to reverse the situation you're in, because it is a nice trip to go up there. I will give you that.
It is fun.
If I had to do that every day,
it's a little tough. It's a little tough. But hey,
you can have cake outside civilization only once.
That's why I'm here.
Only once.
That's why I'm here, chat.
The second time you try to have cake outside of civilization, you're done. You're done. That's the cake that gets you.
You're done. What are you going to do?
I'm going to put pigment on things.
You're going to put pigment on things.
That's what I've been asked to do.
Now,
Christopher said, Jason, you know what would be really cool is if today you could put some pigment on things. And so I've got to find some things
I thought
to put pigment on.
How about the golem?
Well, I don't know.
You don't have to.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought it would look good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Could
I'm
be
going to look
fun.
around. I'm going to look at stuff.
All right, everybody. While he's looking, exclamation mark giveaway is what I'm going to type. You do not need to type that because right here is what I have to type.
You do not need to type that. You
Here
can
you
type
go.
whatever you want.
Click that link. And later today,
Whatever
we will.
want.
I'll give you the heads up warning, chat. Typically, it's towards the end of the stream. Thank you,
What?
Lumberjack.
It's at 3:50 ish. I think. Right? 3:50
Just about.
is how we do that?
Typically, that's what we do.
I think that's what Chris says all the time. Tree fitty. He might be talking about something else.
3:50.
That's what he says all the time.
Pretty much.
Tree fitty, chat.
And no, you do not need to do exclamation mark giveaway. All you have to do is hit that link right there. And then I will get to questions. There's a lot of you already in here. I knew it.
Tree fitty.
No exclamation mark giveaway. Stop that, Ghost Hunter.
Tree
Stop that.
fitty.
Oh,
I like this guy.
an oldie but a goodie.
We've got some good, like, grayish, brownish turf on here.
So you recommend starting, obviously, with the base done.
Yeah, because what you're doing with pigments is adding the final touch. Can you paint after them? Sure. But in real world speak, what you're doing most of the time is going for that last bit of pulling the model into the world you've created, right? And sometimes you do this through paint already, but you can see the boots don't carry any of the tone of the base on them, right? Yeah. So, you know, if you was walking on tile, that would make sense. You wouldn't necessarily be dirty. But this has got a lot of dirt and dust and looks like a dry earth. You know, it's got the slate that we've done in that kind of grayish, greenish kind of coloring. But if we want to do that, now we can go in with the weathering pigments, because paint is very difficult to do that with. A lot of times people will try to do it with paint and you get a staining look from the pigment in paint that makes it look like something got spilled on the model rather than it being accumulated dirt from the environment on the model. Because the accumulated dirt from the environment, our brains are really used to seeing it as dry. It's either dirt or mud.
Yeah.
And paint doesn't exist as either of them because it's wet, and as you glaze it, you can get color on there, but it's never going to give you what you're looking for as far as the perfect way to make dirt climb up onto the model. So, you know, we did it on this Stormcast guy and showed you like oversaturation of like Martian Earth. Yeah. There's no denying that's dirt on the model, right? It doesn't look like we just threw paint on it because we have a light dusting over every surface and build up in the crevices. Now, he also looks like he got just stuck in the dirt for like a year. Right, but at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to be able to cause, is for it to look like it's part of the environment. So one of the fun things that we'll be able to do is we don't have a gray, right? So we will take some black iron oxide and some white iron oxide, and we'll mix them together. Look at that, chat.
Titanium white.
Titanium.
Not white.
Did I say white iron oxide? All right, so we'll do this, and we'll make a gray, right, from it. Don't shake them up. That's my biggest problem with these.
They're very fine.
Every time I pick up any kind of dry pigment, I always want to shake it.
Oh, it's out of muscle memory.
I'm just like, you shake the paint before you paint with it. I'm always trying to shake them up. And it's same with the expert acrylics. Every time I pick up a tube of expert acrylics, my hand doesn't know what to do. It wants to shake the tube up. Pop in a little closer.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now the bigger issue here is how do you mix them? I'm just going to get a paper towel to do this on.
Oh, okay.
Believe it or not, one of the ways that I like to mix is on sandpaper.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
But I don't think my sandpaper strip is in here.
I haven't seen any sandpaper.
It's in my pastel box.
Pastel box.
Which I don't know where the pastels are. The old weathering pastels. I think they're out there someplace.
They're somewhere. Okay, but you could just use a paper towel. Is what you're
I'm
saying.
just going to mix them on a paper towel.
Okay, let me punch out a little bit for you.
Right. So we've got the black and the white to make gray.
Mm-hmm.
Gray. And I'm going to get a old brush that I don't care about because brushes you care about.
Dude, Dark Mockery, Knock Ripper, thank you for those subs.
Brushes you care about will quickly become brushes you don't care about when you use pigment in them, dry pigment. So grab a brush that you don't really care a whole lot about. I'm just going to grab whatever this is. This old Baumwick artillery brush.
Yeah.
Size 4. Right? And we'll just get some out here. Right?
Can you scoot it up, Jason?
No. No.
There it is.
No. No. I can't. I can't. I won't.
You can.
I can't, and I won't.
You can and you shall.
Oh, I should do that over here. A little bit of white.
Oh, cool.
The fun thing about subtractive mixing what happens with pigmentation is that you can just pull all of that in and you'll wind up with a nice mix just like you would with a wet paint, right? I like doing it on sandpaper because it doesn't pop around as much. When you do it on a flat surface like this, you might get a little bit of the pigment jumping around, but it's controlling pretty well.
Nice.
Okay, so now we have, if you can see that, pop in close.
Yeah.
Now we have gray. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Mix them together to get the gray. And then we want to just very quickly, we can come and put the gray. Here, let's get this white out of the background.
There you go. Perfect.
Right. When we go in with the gray, the first thing I typically want to do is get a little bit stippling into the terrain. Just so I get the balance of color of whatever it is I painted. Notice how now we're turning it a little bit more gray. Then come up onto the model and just start feathering it across there. And I start low and work my brush strokes always from the top to the bottom, bringing that down where I think I want the most of the color, which is towards the ground. And look at how immediately I've got my weathering. And there is no mistaking this for anything other than what you're applying it for, which is dirt, dust, grime, dry grime, I guess is the way to say it, right? But remember to feather it out onto the base. Even if your base is already gray, in this case, right? Feather it out a little bit so you get the exact same pigmentation on the ground that you have on the boot.
Nice.
Teodoki?
Oh, yeah.
Look at how that looks versus how this foot looks on that base.
And the idea is just to tie it all in, like, all together, right?
100%, right?
Nice.
What we've just done is make sure that this model looks like it's in the environment that the base represents. Whereas before, I mean, this is the best way to look at it, is just very quickly look at this boot versus this other one.
Yeah.
Right? And the difference is so notable that this looks like, oh, he just stepped out of Cleanville onto this base. And this one means he's been fighting here a while. Right? Okay. Yeah. Now, we don't have any fixative on it, so you can take your finger, assuming your hands aren't too oily. Sometimes this will streak, but if you can very quickly take your finger and you can rub at that and you can reduce it at this point, but you are locking pigment in, so as you're doing it, you're not going to be able to wipe it clean. You can use a Q-tip and stuff. I took to use my finger to kind of wipe it off, and that's all I can wipe off. So now I've got an even better look, and I still have all that grime or that dirtiness on there. Then I'll go back and load some more pigment on the brush. And do the same thing over on this side. Just kind of start at the ground, up onto the boot. And like I said, brushstroke direction is pretty important here. I don't want to move the pigment up because, like we always know, we'll put more up at the top. So start up kind of mid-length on this. Higher means dirtier. You're going to leave more color. So I'm starting at about the halfway point and then just kind of pulling it down. The best thing about pigment is you don't have to worry about talking on stream because it never dries. Unlike my paint, as long as you have pigment on the brush, it will continue to be useful. Right? Less is better. This is one of those where 100% less is more. Because you can continue to feather it around and build it up as opposed to getting too much all in one stroke. And again, we get a nice dirtying of the model.
Yeah.
Glazing with dry pigment is the best way to think about this. Right? And part of why I go on the base first is to make sure I'm not overloading the model with color.
Right.
Right? And then just, again, just kind of start halfway up. Bring that brush stroke down. And you want to do this over all of your highlights. It'll dull the highlights down where they need to be dulled down, gray them out, just like it would in real life. That gives us a really good effect. And you can take your finger and kind of wipe it around if you want. Add more. You can go crazy if you want.
And Papa Chicken says, I've always strayed away from pigment powders because I've heard it always wipes off really easily and fixative kind of ruins the effect. How true are those critiques and critics? What should you do to work around those?
Well, the fixative, when you go in, is going to eliminate some of the vibrancy. Imagine, you know, like if we were to go and put matte varnish over this right now, it's going to lessen the effect some. So you'll get the balance of doing more of the visual and then matting it down. And it's better to do it with an airbrush. This is one of those things, if you're going to use a fixative, do it with the airbrush. But the thing is like, you've seen me wipe on it here. And at some point in time, I've locked in all the pigment. So unless I hit it with something wet, it's not coming off anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Over time, I might lose some. But imagine I can add more here. Right?
Yeah.
Dirty it up a little bit more. And then again, kind of wipe that off. And what you're doing is you're digging that pigment into the surface. This is micro fine grind pigment.
Yeah.
And on a matte finish, so if you matte varnish your model first, it acts very different over gloss surfaces. So I guess one thing that we should say is if you have satin paints or if you've gloss varnished something, you put pigment on that, it'll wipe off easier. The matte finish is what it likes to lock into because remember, a matte finish has a lot of tooth, we call it.
Yeah.
And so if you use our paints or you matte varnish over anybody's paints and you have a nice, really deep matte finish, then you put these on, they lock into the paint. Right? Yeah. So it's not like it's going to move easily because this is super fine dust. Right? And so you can keep putting it on there. And if you were to, at some point in time, pick it up with wet fingers or something and move more off, just put more on.
And somebody's
not that you want to be doing that for your army all the time, is
yeah.
going back and forth and doing it. But now look at how much different that model looks just at the foot.
Yeah.
That turned it into a diorama style model very quickly with no effort, like zero effort. But I have really good weathering on the legs of this model that tie it into the base now. Yeah. And that was basically for free in terms of effort that you had to apply to get that done.
Now, a question, are there any uses for pigment powders beyond making things look dirty / corroded?
I mean, I always dread to say the answer is no. I'm sure somebody could come up with something, but really that's what they're for, is they're for adding those earthy tones into and onto models, right?
Yeah.
You can mix them in with mediums and do all sorts of stuff with them, but it's really for those kind of effects.
Yeah.
You know, you could add them into a slurry of a heavier medium, like a nouche or a glazed wash medium or something like that to kind of bulk up mud. But at that point, you just use your terrain paint anyway, right? Your texture paints. Because if you're trying to use them for something another product does better, it's a waste. So typically, yes, they're just for, doing this, like bringing an environment onto a surface.
And so I've been curious, what's the advantage of using pigments as opposed to dry brushing normal acrylics?
Your dry brush would never look this way.
Yeah.
Right? The dry brush with paint always looks like a stain of some other kind, right? It looks like something either spilled. Dry brushing doesn't necessarily look like it's spilled, but it's a different type of highlight. I'm not going for highlight. I'm going for bringing earth on top here.
Yeah.
Right? So this will go anywhere I put it. It can collect in the recesses, wherever I need it. I can push it in there, and it's always going to have a dry look, assuming I don't gloss varnish it over or something like that, right? Like
Nice.
a dry brush would never give me this same look. Can it give me something sort of close? Yeah, it'll give you a powdery finish, but it'll still look like paint on top of paint. Metallic pigments we have looked at, Avarice, and we have some here that are really good and fun. They are so expensive, I haven't been able to pull the trigger on making them yet. That are really cool, like diffusion style pigments that I've shown off on stream. I showed you turning black primer into metallic with them. They're really, really neat. They are very, very expensive pigments. Just to see if you understand, the pigment provides a texture. I mean, not really. Whereas like dry brushing does, I wouldn't say that these do. Can you shoot in super close?
Yeah, let me get a real zoomed in look here. 1 second.
Right? They add color without the texture almost. I mean, they have a dry appearance, but this is something that your dry brushing would put a lot more texture on this than the pigment did. The pigment's going to catch on the texture the model already has, but it's not going to add a whole lot of texture. See?
Nice.
They're not for areas where I feel like I want to necessarily add texture. That's what like basing textures, thicker mediums in it. You could put like thicker acrylic mediums in with the textures and get them to do that. You can make mud out of them if you have a very thick, heavy, clear acrylic medium. Or even with paints, but it takes a lot of texture because they are so fine with the grind of these. These are the same pigments we use in paint to give you an idea of how fine the grind is. They're not meant to supply texture on the model. We do that with other things, and it isn't the pigment in the basing textures that creates the texture. It's the inclusions that we do, which are like walnut husk and things like that we use as the actual physical component of that. That's not pigment. Pigment is latched onto that, but the pigment itself isn't meant to provide texture. No.
Right.
The pigment is so fine of a grind, it's dust.
Right.
It's like a thin layer of dust over your model, not providing texture, providing color and aging and weathering, like a fine dust in a dirty environment, like these blown out, war-torn terrains that we paint in would. Not every model needs it, because not every model is trying to be in an environment where they would get dirt and dust on them, right? So the question for, are they always for weathering? In my mind, that's where my mind goes, because I come from a world of scale model diorama building, where that's what these were for. Brick dust from fallen buildings, dirt from being, walking in your boots. It's giving the lived-in look to your clothing that brings the environment in, because you've been sleeping, walking, running, fighting in the environment. You haven't been going home and cleaning your shoes and sleeping in a soft bed. That's what the pigment powders really do, is they are a weathering type of product.
And someone's asking, do these match your texture paints 1-for-1? No. He was just explaining that.
Nope. Would you be able to show us as mud, maybe on a tank? You're better with the texture paints.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, is that for these, I would not use them to make mud. We don't make a medium thick enough to do that, number one, right? And it would take so much pigment to do that you should just use our texture pastes. We already do all that for you. You can use like the concrete or the snow texture paste for very fine mud and just paint it. Works like champ. Bug King says, don't cut my finger off. I tried yesterday. I hit it against brick.
Ooh, how you doing? Let's see. Somebody was asking... Flapjack. Question on the MAA celebration at Adepticon. Busts okay?
Yeah. Single figures. Single figure 100. I think I raised it to 160 mil yesterday, because some people were weirding out because our framables can be like 152 millimeters.
Yeah. And Cannibal says, I thought the question they were asking were the colors match 1-to-1 your textures. No, they don't.
Nope.
That's what I just said. Yeah. They do not match.
No, these are all single pigments. We use mixture pigments and some of the other ones.
What could you use the white
But
pigment
when you dust
for?
these over, so that's the big thing. It's like, when I do a base, if I were just going to take something that only had like this.
Yeah.
This just has the brown coarse texture on it, right?
Yeah.
This is our texture paste.
Uh-huh.
Right? The brown coarse texture put on there. And so if I were going to take and say do this gray on him, right? Not that I would, but as a test model, Pop in close.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If I take the gray, the idea, and that's why I said you put this on the terrain first, right? So that now this adds color to the terrain. This is like a dry brush, right?
Yeah.
This would be like dry brushing a gray on the terrain. See how now the terrain is turning gray? So it can add some color to the terrain around the model, like so. Right, and that'll dig in there. Now, when I'm putting it on, I guess I should talk to you. I'm taking it, and I'm not just lightly dusting it. I'm beating the brush up and pushing it into the crevices, right? Notice how I am beating this brush up to get that in there so that that won't come off, right? As I wipe it, it stays, okay, because it's down in the recesses. So the pigment is so fine, it's going to find a way to lock into the model. Now, a fixative like varnish is always going to be really good at the end if you handle the model a lot. But now I can take this, and I can start bringing that up. Once I've got it around his feet, now I can start bringing it up onto the model. It's not, this gray isn't going to be really great here, but I'll show you how it still will provide, you know, that dustiness on his claws and such. Right? So you can use any color, so it doesn't have to match the base tone color. It's not meant to. It's meant to give you something close that becomes the base color when it turns to dry dust.
Yeah.
So if you have brown or earthy tones, just grab brown and earthy tones here and get close. You don't have to be the same color. This is not the same color gray as was on this base. This was all done with warm grays and greens and things like that, but by doing a little dusting of the gray there, and then on the boot, you'd never know that I wasn't using a color that was just on the base. You start to not worry about color matching because that's not how dry, dusty dirt works, right? You could be looking at brown earth, but the dust it churns up is gray, right? Or the dust it churns up is like a tan when it's dry. So you can have that variance in color and still tell a very, even a more so realistic story than if you take the exact match of pigment and put it on there. Now, mud is going to be the exact match of pigment because now that's the earth and it's wet, both on the ground and on the model. And then you just use the texture paste to do that.
This is in regards to the MAA celebration, Jason.
Yeah, just nothing that's excessively sexual content is what we've said. Meaning like hentai models and stuff like that. And that's just more because it's a family show than any kind of an art statement. Is there a diameter of these bottles the same as the dropper bottles? No, they're much bigger. These are much bigger. They're 37 mil bottles, so they hold nearly double the amount of pigment as our paints.
Cool.
Was that it? Questions?
Let's see. I know we got a bunch. So, chat, there was a bunch.
Yeah, this is where I take my end-of-life brushes and use them for this.
Yep.
You know, because you're not really doing detail work when you're working with pigments.
Skinner says, with it being super fine dust, I assume it's recommended to use it in a place with good ventilation, or are they okay to be used more in closed space as long as you're careful?
We're working close to the model, so you shouldn't be going. I wouldn't hammer it to where you're blowing dust up into the air.
Yeah.
If you think you're going to be using a big brush, like a big makeup style brush to do some large figure or doing a whole tank, then I would do it in a ventilation hood or something so it pulls all that away from you breathing it in. Just wear a mask too.
Yeah.
Right. Realize this is super fine particulates. So, but when you're working like I'm working here and you're digging on the paper towel and then coming here and doing a light dusting, all of that stays in this area close to me. Unless I've got a fan blowing it back at me. Again, be safe. Right? It's just like working around a table saw or anything that's creating dust. Heck, when you're dusting your house, right? Same kind of deal. Just be careful. There's all that.
What would you use for white pigment as for a base style? What would you use white pigment for? He just used it to mix that, Hoosier.
White pigment is really good for like oxidation. Right?
First thought was snow, says Flapjack. That could be kind of fun.
No. No, that's the thing that is more a misnomer than anything, right? White pigment does not equal snow. White pigment is great for oxidation, right?
Okay.
Remember, this is a dry powder. So if I put it up at the top on this blue side of this tank, right, and just kind of squib it down the paint, right? Now it gives me not snow, it looks like faded paint, right?
Yeah.
So oxidized paint. The ability to really brighten things up with that kind of, and you have to, this is one of those where I put white on a white paper towel. That's horrible. Yeah, I'm trying to find it now, right? But I can do this. right? And unlike a dry brush, I can be comfortable going down the whole thing, and I'm not going to get brush strokes out of it, but it's
Yeah.
going to be able to brighten it up like oxidation like that. See?
Mhm.
If you've ever gone to a junkyard that has really old cars, or maybe they don't even have to be old with this, how cheap of application of paint they put up nowadays. If you go on and it's been sun-baked, especially here like in Arizona where the sun just destroys paint.
Yeah.
As soon as it eats through the clear coat, the paint underneath starts to oxidize and starts turning into like a white powder. So if you go and you put your hand on that car, you can pull it away and literally have what seems to be white pigment on your hand. Anybody else ever done that?
Yeah.
I've worked around old cars and stuff my whole life. So going
Right.
out and finding like barnyard finds and things like that, sometimes you're like, hey, what kind of, the blue looks okay. And you put your hand on it, pull it away, and it has white on it.
Right.
That's the oxidation from the paint starting to break up under UV. And so that's what this can replicate with that white. And just dust again, right? Like bright dust. Like that doesn't look like we had to do white on it because it is, it has a lacking of opacity. Now, again, if I have a dry finger, I can go through here and I can diminish that a little bit, but I can't wipe it all off. It's still going to leave a little bit on there, right? So that gives me that worn edge, dirty edge feeling, of I don't know, figure it out. It doesn't have to be salt flats. It doesn't have to be snow or something that you figure out as white.
Right.
But it's also just a great blender, right? Like Chris was saying, like we mix it with black, it brightens up colors. Mix these like paints because it's all the same subtractive mixing that paint is.
Right.
If you're not familiar with what I mean by that, subtractive mixing is that paint, when you mix it, white and black don't make gray. Your eye sees gray because the particulates are so fine that the subtractive part of subtractive mixing means that I get gray by taking a white piece of pigment, a black piece of pigment, and overlaying them so that the eye can't distinguish the difference between them anymore, and it sees whatever color is in between. It's like that light visual that shows red and blue next to each other, and you get violet in the middle, even though it doesn't exist. It's just the blue and the red bar come exactly together, and your eye at that one point can't discern which is which, and so it creates a third color, even though that third color doesn't exist. That's exactly what's happening here. Gray does not exist out of these pigments. It's just white and black so close because it's so fine particulate that your eye can't discern anymore, so it sees the other color. That's how all paint mixing works. That's why we talk about how important it is to buy paints that are made for art, right? Because artistic pigments are made with as few pigments that are specifically for that color, right? So that when you mix it, it doesn't just break out into all the component pigments you use because you weren't thinking about it, and then it turns to gray or some other muddy color because all of those pigments are still there. Mix yellow and blue together to get green, it's still just yellow and blue. So if you add something with more yellow to it, that whole mix becomes more yellow because it starts pulling the attraction for all the yellows, right? And it loses its green content very quickly. Whereas if you start with green pigment and mix it with something else, it retains its green body no matter how much yellow is over here. Make sense? So same thing with pigments. Mix them, do whatever you want to with them.
Thank you so much, Chaos. We appreciate that. Now,
Can this be used for rust buildup? You can do all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Let's use this tank. This tank's great. The only thing I can't really do on it is like mud, right? We have, believe it or not, red iron oxide, which is rust.
Bearded Minis, definitely good lighting. You want a nice lighting for your photos. I always typically recommend a 3-point light system style where you have good frontal light and then one light behind to catch the highlights for taking pictures of minis. That's kind of a longer thing.
Popping close.
Essentially.
Right, so I can kind of just dump some pigment in here down low.
Ooh, nice. That's fun.
That's fun.
It is.
It is. It's super
I
fun.
like that.
Working
It's
with pigments
super-
is really, really fun.
It's super satisfying.
Okay, so now I'm going to take a brush. I'm going to keep a second brush that doesn't have pigment on it. So I need a second brush I don't care about. Right? And I almost wet it because I'm so used to just wetting it. Right? Take another brush that you don't care as much about, and then you can work from the non-pigmented side into the pigment. So push down into it and scrub it around. And you can build up really nice, dirty, rusty crevices like that. Right? So you don't have to have a hard edge. You can kind of blot it around. Be careful when wetting the brush. We showed you the other day. Wetting the brush is actually really cool. If I were to go and wet this brush right now, you can do some neat stuff. If I come in here and I just kind of wet the edge through here, I can make it more intense in lower areas. I got to make sure that as much as I can, I kind of grab that wetness though and do the same thing, kind of.
Just Grumpy, thank you so much for that sub. Appreciate it.
Just Grumpy, are you living in Spain now?
Howdy from vacation in Spain.
Oh, vacation. I thought you guys had moved. Right? And so now I can blend that out a little bit more. It's still going to be, it doesn't turn it into mud. It's still the same pigment. It just spreads it around. The wetness will force it to move. It can brighten up crevices by storing some there. But you can play with all sorts of stuff. Having that wetness kind of rose it up into the rest of the area, right? We showed you the other day how taking a wet brush and putting it into the pigment, right, will allow you to kind of paint with the pigment better.
Yeah.
Let me grab a little bit of this out and put it over here on the... Because water and pigment, while not making paint, makes a vehicle to put the pigment on the model that acts more like paint, right? So I can use the pigment and paint it on for like little rust areas here. Maybe I want to do a little bit of streaking with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that, right? Now, the problem with this is that while it looks like, oh my gosh, I could just use, you know, regular paint for that. The problem with this is that this pigment, right, will rub and limit itself to a point, but it's also super duper vibrant where it sticks.
Yeah.
And now when you apply that fixative, you get some, how close can you get on this?
I can get even closer.
Be hard to show as small as I've done this, but this will, to somebody's question before, this will have a slight texture to it when you build it up with the water.
Yeah.
Not enough to be like something you put on for snow or anything, but it will have a slight texture to the surface of an otherwise flat model that would give it the idea of rust at that scale.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not gonna build it up in a mounds of mud and things like that, but it is gonna give you those micro textures for stuff like this. Right, and that's just with water. You can do that with medium. People are asking about how it acts with noosh. So that's one of the biggest questions we've gotten recently.
Yeah, interesting.
Is if you were to put it with noosh, because noosh is a new thing. You know, I would not in the past have said, mix into a wash type suspension, the pigments. But let's play around a little bit here and see.
I'm gonna put
if we can. Do something like this and see what we get with
that's the noosh right there on your palette. Okay, I just wanted to look.
Here.
Okay,
right here.
Got it.
You can just clean your brush like normal in your paint water. The pigment will go to the bottom, but let's take a little bit of what do we want to use here? You know what I want to use? Let's try something like kind of a fake dot filter with it.
Okay.
This is just playing around. I'm going to totally ruin this tank probably. For science.
Reprime it.
So we'll take a little bit of our yellow, right? And put that in with noosh.
There it is. Yep.
Right? I want to get a good amount of pigment and a real good amount of noosh here. Okay. A little bit of water into that. And let's see what this does as kind of a, like we did over here. Let's do a...
You want to come down a little bit? Oh. I zoomed in a lot. There we go.
Let's do a couple of little dots. Like so. And then on this one, let's just take a flat brush. Right, and let's... Oh, yeah. Holy... Yeah, that works a lot better for turning noosh into dot filters. That's great. Huh.
Interesting.
Right, so on this one, taking it and just kind of leveling in. I mean, hell, I can probably just paint that around instead of doing the dots.
Go to town with
I
it.
could probably just do something like this, and then with a dry brush, just immediately getting what I want from that slight bit of yellowing into the side there.
Yeah. And talking about repriming, would the pigment create some sort of streaking texture to paint over?
No, no, it won't be that much texture. Like you can't go back over it to have a ridge where you'd paint other colors, right? That's not what we're talking about. Let's just say if I were to do this whole area in here, this might be really fun, right? Because then I can take that and just kind of lightly push that around and get that. You can see the sheen that it's leaving there, which will be that yellow pigment. You can kind of see that jaundiced look on the blue. That's really good. And it's not rubbing off because you now have a binder, right? When you mix it with a medium, you get the binder baked in. So you can do, I've already done a lot of that on here. So it's having to blend with the stuff in the background. But I can see that being really good. And then your question of like white becomes a lot easier to answer because if I grab some white over here, mix it with water and noosh, right? Then that really does allow me to get in here and do something like this, right? And then that we can use as that kind of streaky oxidized look that I go from clean to dirty real quick, smacking that around.
Oh, okay, Bug King. Okay, so have you had issues with primers lifting off a reprime due to the sort of non-stick the pigments have? Does the primer saturate the pigment enough to allow proper adhesion? And you're talking specifically over weathering pigments.
Wait, what? Primer lifting after a reprime? I would never reprime a model that had pigments on it. You'd have to strip it probably.
I was talking, Bug King, about normal paints.
If you apply it like this, where you're putting it on with a medium or you lock it in with a varnish, then you're probably okay. Yeah, but you don't want to put unset pigment on a model and then reprime it because that surface will not be, you'll adhere to the pigment, but the pigment isn't actually adhered to anything technically.
Right.
It doesn't come off the model, but as soon as you wet it with a primer, it can be re-wet, right? The pigment, no matter what you do, if you haven't applied it, like let's do that real quick, right? We've done these rust spots. They weren't applied with any medium. Right. That's just dry pigment. And I don't know that I went over it. I don't think I went over, I didn't go over these top ones. So if I get water on my brush, look at that.
Yeah.
See how I just erased it? So if you don't like it, you can just take it off of there.
Yeah.
And squib it around. That's what, anytime you wet it, that's what's going to happen with pressure, right? Now, at some sort of microscopic level, if you do that with primer, the primer's not going to lock onto anything, right?
Yeah.
Right. Whereas if I get wet, now this may not be true because if I get wetness on this one and move it around, no, it locked on. So that's not getting rid of any of that yellow that we had on there.
Yeah.
Right. But or this right here.
It's so fine too.
Even with it wet because the noosh.
Right.
Right. So that's not moving it. Because the noosh is an acrylic, so it's the pigment is now locked into a medium. It doesn't technically make paint because the pigment doesn't disperse inside the medium the way a true paint would, but it's close for when you're doing detail work. You wouldn't mix this and paint the whole side of something because your pigment clumps. It doesn't have a dispersion in it that keeps it nice and smooth throughout. If you understand how paint is made, it isn't just pigment inside wetness. The pigment has to be treated with a wetting agent. It has to be a surface wetting agent inside the paint, and all of that has to be dispersed properly in order for the paint and the pigment to lay smooth through your brush stroke. Here, you're probably noticing as we go through and do like this yellow, right? If I were to just paint this yellow on, notice how I'm not getting a smooth dispersion of pigment, right? See how the pigment, you can tell it's a physical thing in that paint, right? Because you can see the streaks, right? That's because it just won't layer in there properly.
Right.
But I really like the fact that Noosh lets us do this. And what Noosh is not doing is it's not taking this rust off. So I'm being able to lock the rust in with the Noosh over the top of it, which is cool, just like a varnish would.
And what do you think, what is the difference about Noosh versus regular mediums as how how men do?
Well, I'll show you, but the noosh allows the paint to move. And because the pigment itself doesn't have a resin, it's not a paint, so it doesn't start curing. Nothing about the pigment cures. It's just dry dust. The noosh doesn't cure very quick. And so when you mix it with noosh, you can move that pigment all over the model and have it stick where you want to, and only get very, very slight filters like what you're seeing here, which is why you use oil as a dot filter, because it just puts on there what you want it to, and you can move it around as you need.
Yeah.
Right? Now, we've already started letting this thin area of white set up, so if I were to get a wet brush, I might not be able to move that off of there now because it's drying, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to get much of that off of there, if any. Nope. Because the noosh is already set up. So that noosh held all that white pigment onto the model purposefully, right? But it allowed me to move it around and thin it down the same way it did on this yellow here to give me that filter. But once it's dry, right? So you can do streaking with it. You can do all sorts of really cool stuff. If I were to go back and say, okay, well, let's get some more of the rust into the noosh here, right? Looks like paint. Tastes like paint. Wait, what?
Whoa. Hey, do not consume these products. Son of a gun.
Right.
I knew it was coming.
Right, but if I were to go and just like paint rust down here kind of sloppily, right, with some of that on the bottom of the door, and then take this brush and do that downward streaking,
that's cool.
Now immediately create actual rust streaking.
Chat. You know what that means.
Right.
I got a lot of stampa to cover.
Right, because the noosh allows the pigment to continue to move, right? And if I were unhappy with some of it, as long as the noosh is still operable, like I don't want this area up here, then I can re-wet that a little bit, move that down. So it allows you to play with all of that and create your streaky.
There's a lot of science talk, Jason.
Right. Whereas if I just use water, let's do that same thing with water again. Pigment and water, no noosh, and paint this on. Oh, not enough pigment. There we go. It makes a really messy palette, by the way. Right? But if I put it on with water, number one, it doesn't cling as well. And then when I take my brush and start to move it, see how much more intense it is?
Yeah.
Because the water doesn't allow you to take much of that off of there. It just streaks. So that's actually working pretty good.
Could this be mixed with matte varnish to lock it in?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Any medium you can put it on there. Understand that what's going to happen with it, like if you were to do this with, I don't want to wash that yet. Any medium, varnish, glaze wash.
Just helps it.
Right. Well, it gives it a binder.
Yeah.
It gives it something to lock it in. So if we were to do the same thing that we did when painting those rivets,
right,
and you wanted that small bit of texture, and let's take some of this pigment with the matte. Instead of water now, right? Or going in and doing this where we, because all we really wanted was, you know, the pigment to be wet. Right. It allows us to paint it on, right? Gives us a little bit of that texture. It runs along that edge, drips down here, whatever. Something like that. Maybe this one's got two little tails coming out.
Haunted Miniatures, what's going on?
Right. If you do that, that's now going to cure as paint. Now, because the pigment does have some micro texture to it, you might still be able to, once it, or before it dries, or once it dries, you might still be able to dull it a little bit, but that's locked in with the medium,
right?
The varnish, right?
Yeah. So
that, once it cures, will be just like paint, except it will have a little bit of a micro texture. If you were to be able to get into it with like a microscope, there'd be a little bit of a texture to it.
Yeah.
So you can do stuff like that. I prefer to do this stuff where, because if I were just doing that, I could just use paint, right? The thing I like is being able to do this, where you're wiping it off. And whereas the paint with the water built up on top of each of the rivets, the paint with the noosh cleared off, and you can see how it moved off the top of the rivets, right? So just a little bit of difference in how the paint moves when you put like the noosh that lets the pigment slide around a little bit more than with the water. And then of course the problem with the water as an applicator is that when I go back over this, right, I can erase it all. And so I can basically remove all of that where I can't with the noosh side. Because there's no binder here. That's what I'm trying to get across. Mix it with mediums, and then it'll lock it in. But if you want the ability to move it around because you just don't know what you need, like when we put the pigment on the Space Marine's foot, right? I might want to be able to reduce it a little bit. And so using the water as a way to do that can allow you to adjust, whereas when you use the medium, it's going to be locked on there, right? Like none of this is coming off anymore. I have pigment on the brush still, but other than that, see, it's not coming off because it's the matte varnish that's locked it on.
Right.
So again, play with it. It's a lot of fun. You can get very near paint, but you need to put it into a medium in order to do that and realize it will not spread and cover like paint because the pigment is a physical thing that as your brush is moving, it's moving more like dirt on your floor. You'll see it clump up and make lines. So you're not trying to cover surfaces with it. You're trying to do little details around rivets. You're trying to make streaks. You're trying to do things like that. You'll get more vibrancy than you would with a normal paint because it is pure pigment.
Right.
Nothing else to it. So that's why like you can in one pass get, you know, really vibrant rust and streaking out of it. Same thing if I wanted to go back with a little bit of the yellow again. Grab some of that matte medium. And then come in and very quickly add a little bit of extra coloring to my rust streak here.
Nice.
Right, and play around with it how you like.
Sir Blame says, does the powder damage, in quotes, the brush?
Oh, yeah. Not damage necessarily. It's the same pigment, but it will once you wet it like I'm doing here.
Harder to clean?
It's very hard to clean out, right?
Just another brush for me to clean, chat. Or to not clean. Wait a minute.
Right?
Cool.
So much harder to clean. So I keep all of the brushes that I'm using here, other than maybe this one. Nah, even this one, because I've already got some pigment down in the ferrule. I will keep as just pigment brushes. I try to keep them together. Like where I store the pigments, I will keep the brushes I use with the pigments in that box so I don't ever mix them in.
Yeah. And how does it stick? Doesn't just blow off?
How come what?
Wansling's asking, how does it stick? Doesn't it just blow off?
Dude, this stuff is microscopically teeny. Like it's teeny particles of dust. So why does dust stick to things? Same thing, except this is even smaller than that. So where we've used a lot of medium on here, so all of this is now stuck on because of the medium has turned it into paint. Then the way it cures, right? This stuff we didn't put any of the medium on into. This is just the dry pigment. But cool. When I wipe it off, right, it only takes off a little bit. It still remains on the leg, because in this case, the matte finish of the model itself, that tooth that the paint has, is grabbing onto all that dust. Now, when that gets saturated, you can wipe off all the excess. So when you tend to wipe off on a matte finish surface, whatever you're left with is all the surface can handle, right? And if you go with wet brush, wet finger, spray varnish, stuff like that, it will dilute it down color-wise a little bit.
Greenfire, moving soon and need to replace my paints. We'll be looking for a full lineup. Nice. Greenfire, you can't go wrong with us.
But no, it doesn't just blow off. You know, you can put compressed air on this and it won't blow off. It'll give you the same dirty foot, right?
It's a dirty foot.
But you do want to try to lock it in. So like I said, this is a process that we do at the end of a model. Put it on, get it the way you want to, and then hit it with some matte varnish. Then go back and look at it and see, did it, because when you wet it, sometimes it will make its vibrancy go down, right? especially because matte varnish tends to take the vibrancy out of things anyway. So if you hit it with matte varnish and it reduces it, you put another little bit, hit it with matte varnish again, right? Ganoush, you mean gouache? No, this is just pigment. Pure pigment. There's no binder in it. There's no chalk. There's no oil pastel, nothing in it. I have pretty much my whole life I used chalk pastels. The problem with chalk pastels is they have a binder. They have the chalk binder that makes them able to be into a stick and to use them like what they're supposed to be. So their actual amount of pigment per load of product on the model is very low compared to what these are. These are pure pigment, nothing else. So when you put them on, you get super vibrant color, right? Like these rust stains, right?
Yeah.
You just immediately get super vibrant color. But it gives you all the ability, like I said, to rub it off, move it around. Like with Noosh, that's a lot of fun with Noosh. I'll play with that a lot more and see what else we can do with that, because I think the pigments with Noosh seems to be a really great thing.
Dude, I'm getting into this.
Yeah.
That rust you did, or that yellow you did on with Noosh.
Yeah, being able to do dot filters with this, I think, is the way, because they will move more and leave less streaking than standard paints, which when doing a dot filter, you're trying to feather it out. So I think these are going to be great for that.
Brent, what's going on? Hey,
those
Jason.
who make dioramas and stuff will know that this is the way to pull your model into the environment.
This is the way.
Done with raw pigment. No binder, pure pigment, easy use. Ta-da.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah.
Hey, and if you're into that kind of stuff, exclamation mark giveaway, you do not have to type that. Why do I keep saying that, Chris? Yikes. I have to type that. We have a giveaway today. Guess what we're giving away today, Jason?
Pigments. I'm just going to go out and say I think we're giving away some pigments, Chris.
We're giving away a free car. No, I'm kidding. It's
Whoa.
weathering pigments.
It better be a little
Get
one.
weathered. You do not need to type in exclamation mark giveaway.
It better
All
be
you have
a
to do
very
is hit
little
that
car.
link. It's an itty bitty car. It's a Hot Wheel.
A little bitty car.
And yeah, that's all she wrote.
Yeah, that worked out really well.
That did. That's super cool. Car model. Could be a car model, Cornflake Justice. You don't know what car it is. I could give you the smallest car possible.
The
Little mini
smallest car possible.
Smallest car possible.
Right, these brushes are now relegated over here. The brushes that are over here, Chris, are for the pigments.
Yes, sir.
Which I
Copy
just
that.
put them down next to all the pigments nobody can have, which there are a lot of.
The nobody can have. What do you?
Well, the ones that people have been asking about that I can't give to them
Oh.
because they all the interference colors and stuff, they're too expensive. We'll see how people buy these. If people like these, then we have some other really, really cool pigments we can bring out that are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, show.
Be interesting to put them on a model and pigment into enclosed wind container and have the pigments attached to the model like a dust storm. Vipus? That's a silly, awesome idea for some reason.
There have been people in the past that you put dry pigment on a paintbrush and then hit it with the airbrush at high pressure and have it blow onto the model. It works great.
That's a really fun idea.
Yeah, it works great.
Do you have any plans for your own line of contrast paints?
Now, Schreiber, you're going to like what we release at Adepticon.
Get ready.
We have been using them. A lot of the models on my desk are painted almost exclusively with them. This guy.
Yep. You have a lot of Conquest models.
Internally, we have referred to it as secret sauce or special sauce. And all of the base colors have been done with it over just a zenithal prime.
Right.
Right. So what you're seeing here is the model on the right done with what is our answer to speed paints here. And pop in really close for me, Chris.
Oh, yeah.
You'll notice that you don't get the piling up of pigment and the blotchiness if you just look at that crimson, right? It only stays where you want it, right? It only gives you darkness where you want it in the folds, right? This is probably the best because these are just big, long, flat things, and I just glommed it on there.
Yeah.
Right? So it doesn't give you that blotchiness. It gives you a really, really smooth application. And then all of the highlights done here are because our speed paint will blend with our regular line of paints without any problem. All of the highlighting that I did was done by mixing the speed paint color or the special sauce color with what I wanted as a highlight color, in this case, beige red. and then doing my first layer highlights with that, so that you always have the base color to start with. Once you've used the special sauce colors and put it on the model, you now have a color that probably doesn't match a color in your paint line because it's letting the white or black or whatever color you painted over show through. You can use the same speed paint you used, mix it with any of your normal opaque colors to get the color you need, so that you always have control over shading and highlighting the way you need to. It doesn't become a dysfunctional paint just because you need to start glazing or doing other things. So all of this is done in tandem with the base coat of the speed paint mixed in with other colors where need be, or in some cases like the brown, this isn't done at all. That's just the speed paint. Same with all the yellow down here and such, right? So yes, you will be pleasantly surprised. We've been painting with it a ton.
That's right.
All of my Uroni army is done with them.
Uroni.
So all of these are done.
That came out really good.
All of the jade is done with our regular jade opaque pro-acryl paint, mixed with the medium. So the special sauce medium will be available on day one. We'll launch them at Adepticon, 12 colors plus the medium plus one limited edition color at Adepticon, which is rust. All of those will be available at Adepticon.
Right.
And then we will be releasing more colors throughout the year. You'll have at Adepticon, for those of you lucky enough to be traveling to Adepticon, you'll have the ability to test out the next 12 colors as well. We'll have 24 of the colors there. 12 for purchase, 12 for try. You can use them dry. Tech Badger, that's what I went through, is you can use them dry or mix with mediums as you like.
Plus this VOD, for everybody who's new to the channel, these VODs go straight to YouTube right after we're done. So just keep that in mind. If you miss something, you can go back over there, or you can hop on YouTube and you can rewind.
Isaac Schaefer, yes. Zinc pigment will tend to do that over time. It'll start to get clumpy. You can thin it down. I suggest when you thin it down using something like our glazed wash medium. But you can use water too. You'll just find that water thins it down to a very, very thin viscosity very quickly. Just Grumpy, what's special sauce? Our answer to speed paints.
Special sauce.
No, Belial, you will not. The idea for initial launch is that we're going to show them for the attendees at Adepticon. We will have them at our EU site. We'll have a few hundred sets in the EU store, as well as a whole bunch at Adepticon. And then about a month or a month and a half after Adepticon, we'll go worldwide release, right? Yep. And so then they'll be on the store, available to retailers and the whole nine for a normal launch. We typically do something that's like that at Adepticon, where if we can, we'll have them on the website while they're at Adepticon. But because we have a long gap before actual production release, we won't have them on the website, I don't think, during the show.
Here are the Weathering Pigment links for all of you who are interested. Kablam. There you go. And hey, that link I just posted, the giveaway link, if you are not familiar with how our giveaways work, hit that link. I'm going to type it in one more time for you. All you have to do is follow all the instructions. You only have to do that once this year. Then your name is put into a big pool. And towards the end of stream, we'll pick a name and we will give something away. But you have to be here in either of the chats and you have to be able to speak up in chat. Otherwise, you'll get missed. And we go pretty quick. So I'll give you a 5-minute warning when we decide to do the giveaway.
So the question has been asked, how long after doing special sauce should you wait to paint
Yes,
over
I was actually just about to say that.
And I'll tell you that it's really only until it's dry like any other paint.
Pretty quick, actually, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, they're here. Yeah. Yeah, unlike others that you may have tried, it is really just treat it like a normal paint. It can tend to be a hair more fragile in terms of how you want to handle it. I don't know that I would wait till it was dry to the touch and then tape over it for airbrush masking or anything. You're going to need to let it cure a little bit longer for that. But as far as like re-wetting, you don't need to do hardly anything. Right, so this is just the warm yellow with just a hair of dampness on my brush, just to give you an idea what's going on here. Right.
Man.
Not enough to really thin it out. I want pure potency out of this.
That yellow's great, man. Look at that. Dang.
Right. You are typically going to ladle it on thicker than other paints, right? You tend to think of it like a hybrid. You're treating it like a normal paint for coverage, but you're also treating it like a wash as far as amount of paint you're using.
Yeah.
So it will take a little bit longer to get dry, to go over with a color that you want to not blend with it. But the nice thing is that you can also like wet blend with it if you want. You're not going to tear it if you put paint over the top of it right now. You would want to be like wet blending with it to some extent, right? So like if I were going to take, let's take some of the orange maybe, right? Because we want the paint to be useful for all parts of the model that you're maybe doing, if I wanted to take a little bit of the orange for whatever reason and just kind of move that into my shadow here, I can do that immediately. I might get some wet blending like I would with a normal paint, but I don't know why you do this. But you can see I can put it on directly after the application of the yellow and nothing's tearing, nothing's moving weird.
Huh. Man, that's pretty quick.
It's wet blending.
Yeah.
But
it's cool but that's cool how you're able to blend them like that.
Yeah.
Look at that gradient. Yeah, I'm thinking of different gradients you could do.
Yeah. And then if I were to take like a wet brush, let's say, let's play with that edge and see what we can do along this edge. I don't know how useful that is, but I can kind of blend it around the edge without tearing. It's not a very good one. It's not meant for that, but just to show you the durability, like you can paint over it and blend colors and do whatever you want to. You can blend it with regular Pro Acryl paints.
Yeah.
Right? I have test models all over the place here.
Jason, would you say you have some test models?
I have some test models all over the place here.
You got some test models.
I have quite a bit of test models. Chris.
We got a lot to build. And by we, I mean me.
Let's take and do something like
Oh, huh. Wake Titan. That brings up a question. Over the weekend, I tried to wet blend for the first time, and it's instantly felt like more natural way to paint. Why do you think it's not more widely used in the hobby space?
It's very difficult to cross multiple shapes on the model. On bigger areas, it can do really fun. On big open areas, once you start getting into detail, it's hard to get all of your details blended out like that, and it takes a lot of time to do so, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to take a little bit of Bold Pyro Red and some of the purple special sauce here. I don't know why. I just grabbed colors. I don't know why I grab the colors I do. I just do. Don't ask questions, Chad. It's fine.
But why did you take that?
It's fine. Don't ask questions. Didn't you just hear me, fine sir? And I use that term loosely. Again, just a damp brush. I have to do something like that. Clean that off real quick. Try to go back with just a slightly damp brush with the red. Right. I can push the red up into the special sauce and back down.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun for blending and such too.
Without really messing around, they feel slightly different in how they work, but they work very well together. Like you'll notice that the pigment load of our normal paints will overtake them. Kind of like if you were wet blending with transparent paints in our opaque paints. Same thing. The transparents have a ton of pigment, but their transparency makes it to where you're going to overtake one with the other very quickly. But you can see, like, you can push them right into one another.
Yeah. Trolls are made of fungus, right? So this looks like an arm from a different troll spliced like fruit trees, says Game
And then I
Delay.
can bring the purple back down into the red.
He's rocky, Game Delay. It's a rock troll.
Stone troll, we call these.
Stone troll. And this troll's been getting the business lately. Got a lot of different things on this guy.
I always love the way models turn out when we use them for demos like this.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it mixed together. Now check this out. What if I take the purple and the red and blend them together on the palette? How about that?
Just
so this should make it to where it's pretty much limitless what you can do with these paints, because your whole collection can mix with them. With the medium, you can turn any of your paints into them, right? And they just give really good functionality. Now, the more opaque paint you put into them, the less component of the speed paint action they will have. They will become more opaque, right? But you can see, you can get that same color as our blended color up here was. You can just get it by mixing them on the palette. So if you did wet blend or did something where you wanted to do that and you had a hard time color matching, you could just mix them together and solve your color match problem. If I wanted to come up here and redo this area where they blend together, I can just take the color match blended colors because I use the same paints, whereas most of them won't let you do that. Right, and I'm not doing anything you can't do. I haven't done anything special here. We blended the red and the yellow. Get the kind of flame thing going on there. We blended the greens over here.
yeah.
This is making me want fruit roll-ups.
And this is getting released at Adepticon. Ask Tribe the Demon.
It's Trolley Gras. Yeah, it is like Mardi Gras troll. This guy's just, he literally has gotten the business. Right, where did we put the other guy? Oh, here's the other guy.
When are they getting released, Jason?
Right, so here's this guy already. So let's say that we had this guy, right, that we did this on and wanted to then go back and say, okay, well, the orange didn't work out the way I wanted to, so let's hit that with another coat of yellow. We'll just go right back over the other coat of yellow, right? This hasn't been very long, right?
Yeah.
And put that yellow right back over it, and now look at what's happening. So now you can use that kind of as an underpaint, and now you would start getting some blending. But I'm not having to be afraid. I mean, I'm not doing anything. I'm being a little delicate just because the paint's still a little wet, so just like I would with any opaque color. But paint the way you want.
Game Delay saying, one of the Mad Moon has happened to this troll's stomach. He gave him a little tattoo.
You can thin it down with just water. So if you wanted to, like, let's say on this side, you know, this was not as bright as I wanted it, and I didn't want to do a whole nother full coat, I can just come and thin it down with water and put another coat over the top and glaze with it, because I already have the transition and contrast built up out of it, but I can glaze with it. Now that was already dry, but it just shows you can thin it down how you like, push it around how you like, move it how you like. It acts more like a normal paint that just happens to do this really cool feature.
Yeah.
And you can mix them together, so I can take the yellow and the orange and mix them together. And they don't turn into some oily mess. And now you have just really cool coloring. And this is both special sauce, so they will continue to act the way you expect them to.
Man.
And move it around if you see it's too thick in an area. Do whatever you want to do.
Big stuff, Jason.
Yeah. And then, I mean, this has been dry for a long time, this blue, but that's
Yeah.
all done with the blue. So I'm going to thin out a lot of purple here. I'm going to pull a little bit of the purple special sauce off to the side,
Yeah.
and just put a ton of water in it to show you how far down you can go with it. That's like a sea of a lake of water there, right? So you can see how thin it is.
Yeah, but it's still so vibrant.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you can paint with that. And that would give you some really good nuanced shadows, right? So you could put the purple over the blue, and I'm loading it on here ultra wet just so you can see that you're not going to get any like re-wetting from dry paint. It's not going to do anything really weird.
Yeah. It's funny. Tribe the Demon. It's like everybody's talking about how far Adepticon is, or how close Adepticon is, but when you look at these paints, it seems far away. I think people are really wanting to
Look at how red that is.
That's hilarious. Poop Tempted says, is there a black secret sauce paint?
Yes. What I've been doing all my Uroni with. I'll show it to you.
Like the black blue?
It's very blue-black. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's dark blue-black is what the black is called. Ooh. Look at that. That's going to be bitching. I got some models here that need the black on them. As a matter of fact, these guys, all of their armor is done with the black. Now, I've already done some highlight on it with white blue mixed in with it to show the mixing. But
Commando Ken. Nah, you guys missed it. It was last weekend. Nope, it definitely wasn't.
what, Adepticon?
Yeah.
That would suck.
Spaznak, great question.
I didn't label these, so I got to... I have a bunch of bottles, and the graphite gray and the black look very similar.
Oh.
Until you shake them up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Is there plaid? Yes. It's a plaid starter kit.
I was. Could you imagine? Scrap everything. We're just coming out with a plaid starter kit.
Poop Tempest, this is all the same stuff. This black is all the black secret sauce.
Yeah.
Right? And it is dark blue-black. So you can take blue-black and do your initial mid-tone highlight with it, and then mix in white-blue, and you're done. It's just too easy for black. Like, I think that some of these paints, once people get a feel for them, are literally just going to drive people bananas. They're going to love them.
No, Mo, we're not making a plaid starter kit. Not happening.
Plaid.
Tribe the Demon. Yes. For all of you who don't know, I will be doing some non-metallic metal this week. I will be doing it on Wednesday. Ooh.
Just to reiterate, I'm not doing anything you can't do. I'm getting my brush super loaded with paint. I'm not washing it off between times. I'm not adding more water to it or anything. Just going whole hog here.
He goes whole hog. No half hog.
I don't
around
half
here.
hog it.
We don't half hog.
There's no half hogging at Monument Hobbies. We whole hog it or nothing.
I'm not lying. I will do it Wednesday. So I would be here if I were you on Wednesday. Because you never know when you're going to get it again, chat. Stan, what do you mean you don't believe me?
I get it, Stan. He's hard to trust.
No, I told you guys I'm doing it. Ooh. There will not be a Wizard's Butt secret sauce.
These are not the kind of paints we can make the same way that we do Wizard's Butt, so I doubt that's a thing. We could do something, specific just to have fun for sure. But you can't do the same type of collaborative process with the pigmentation that we do with secret sauce or with Wizard's Butt with these. I say that. I mean, you can mix them together, but that wouldn't have the same vibe.
I will be doing my non-metallic metal on the breastplate of Surviathan, one of our framables, so that all of you have the chance to follow along with me if you would like. Obviously, you're not required to buy it, but you will be watching me do that. And no, I'm not doing it on Earthworm Jim, but I'll take those techniques and then apply it to Earthworm Jim once I get that model completed. And that's my TED Talk. Dealer of Death. Thank you for that.
Dealer.
111 months.
Not possible.
What the heck?
Dealer's been around since the beginning of a round.
Sheesh. That's a lot of months, Jason.
He's literally been around since the beginning of a round.
Dealer of Death, thank you so much.
Since there was a time to be around, Dealer of Death has been here. He owns some of the models that we have painted on stream. Some of them were his. The Kingdom Death ones are the ones I always remember, but I think he has some other ones too, maybe.
It's happening on Wednesday. Yeah, Dealer, that's awesome. That's a long, Jason, that's a long time.
You've been here forever. You're not goofing around.
No, I'm not doing non-metallic metal on a big tree, even though my heart would like to do that. That's not possible.
Well, everything's possible
Well, yes, everything is possible.
with the right attitude.
Thank you, Jason. You know what, Jason? I needed that today. Thank you.
Everything's possible, Chris.
Jason's in the zone today. He's painting. We're showing off some fun things. Big day, chat. Huge stuff coming up. Hey,
I love when people ask me questions that actually lead me to getting things I've been meaning to do done. Like putting the black on this guy.
I was just about to say, like, hey, don't say that, Jason. Otherwise, they're going to be asking about everything else. Hey, do you remember that one model that you were going to do this with?
Hey, remember that time?
Yeah.
I would suggest not putting these on your palette. I would suggest putting them in a cup and painting with them. So you don't waste as much as I'm about to waste on this palette. But I'm flooding the model here. I haven't gone back to dip my brush in the water this entire time. Just keep painting with it.
It's very cool.
It doesn't clog the brush the same as other paints will, which is really nice until you've been painting with it for a really long time. So you don't have to worry about rinsing your brush off after every application of paint. It's really nice. I love it.
Huh. Little Stinker has a question, Jason. One of my favorite friendly local gaming stores is offering a class by a very accredited painter. How helpful would you say one of those classes is for a so-so painter like myself?
I think that as long as it feels affordable to you to take it, every class has a lot of good nuggets to learn. You may not even learn what they were there to teach. It's one thing that I tell people. Go in with a mind to just watch the painter, right? Because if they're good and you pay attention, even if you walk in and you know that they're going to be talking about something that you just don't feel comfortable doing and blah, 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 watch how they move the brush. Watch how they load their paint. Watch how they treat the art as they do it, and not just pay attention to what they said you're there to learn, and you will get great stuff, no matter who it is, I think. That would be my 2 cents on that story. That's my TED Talk, as Chris says.
So Papa Chicken's asking, what would it look like to apply special sauce bold titanium white over a mini primed black?
We don't have a bold titanium white special sauce.
But you could make it with the medium. I think that's what you're asking, yeah. Papa Chicken?
Yeah, probably.
Who knows? You'll have to wait and find out, Papa Chicken.
Go try it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, whoa! Which of the 2 brown pigment powders be good for dirty dirt stains? Says Derpstick.
Of course it would be Derp who asks.
Derpstick, I like both of them. Burnt umber and raw umber are awesome.
Yeah,
it just depends on the flavor.
Well, and remember, a lot of stains are grays, so don't hesitate in mixing them together. I think the biggest thing that you'll find with them is the ability to mix and match stuff is great. So don't stop at, okay, dirt's brown, I'm painting brown.
Dirt's brown.
Add grays into it, add other colors into it, have fun, test new stuff.
That's the moral of the story, isn't it, Jason? Have fun.
Have fun, put paint on the model.
Put paint on
model. You never
model.
know what you're going to stumble across that makes it to your next recipe book and says, oh, that's how I'm doing that forever.
Yeah.
Right? I do that all the time, and I've been painting for what feels like a bajillion years.
You've been painting for a long time.
But I still run into stuff that it's like, oh, you know what? I'm doing that always. Like, that's my new way to do this combo or that combo or to come up with this color scheme or to do rust effects or whatever it is. Keep trying stuff that's new. I get bored, right? I get bored with it being like, okay, here we go. We're going to paint with the same old colors we always do. I mean, unless it's dark purple as a shadow, then I'm never changing. But other than that, that's a lie. Even then I change to Payne's Gray a lot, so... Stuff's easy to paint in a more exact manner, so you can use it with a detail brush. It stays where you put it. It's not going to slide around if you don't want it to. The heavier you put it on the model, meaning the more paint you flood the model with at once, the more it moves, as per normal. I'm a big fan of just kind of flooding the area and then going back and doing more detailed edges, of course. Works like a champ.
I mean, I'm into this kind of thing.
Me too.
You know?
Me too.
Somebody
That's
was-
amazing,
I
Chris,
strive-
because so am I.
I'm
It's already starting to set up, and you can see the
Yeah.
black.
Hey, you know what, Jason? What day is it today?
Today's Monday.
Jason, we're bringing Mondays back. It's a giveaway day.
What? You're giving away more stuff? Didn't we just give them some
This is
stuff?
back to back for all of you out there.
Didn't we literally just give people things?
This is my way to prove to the world that we do giveaways on any
You know
day.
what he's trying to do? This is like when Jen gives the dog better treats than I do. He's just trying to win your love and affection, chat. Don't fall
Come
for it. There's only
on,
one person here
no.
who really loves you.
Come on. I'm
Only
not
one
doing
person here
that.
really loves you, chat. And you know who that is.
No. Source is asking, is the finish more satin question mark?
Yeah. It's still what we call matte, but not, it depends on the one. Now, the black that you're watching here has not gone through, the paint that I'm using right here has not gone through the matting final pass. So this will become more matte in the production.
Yeah.
That and the purple. So we went back and added more matte to a couple of the colors, the primary one being this, and then the dark purple. So, it's not dark purple, it's actually royal purple. But
Hit that link. Sign up for the giveaway. We're going to do a giveaway soon, and I'll let you know. I'll give you a 5-minute timer. T-Schmid, no. I still am working on my photography, to be totally honest with you. I'm always learning with photography. I don't have the confidence in myself, particularly to teach a class on anything like that, like what you're asking. I'm not there yet.
for video,
For video, that would be different because a lot of those concepts can kind of translate, but photography is kind of like its own set of
it's
light.
other than
Yeah.
lighting for it,
Yeah,
it's its own beast.
yeah, it is very different. So I've been classically trained in video, not in photography. Most of photography has just been learned through osmosis. But like I said, that Just Add Magenta, I follow his PDF. It's an amazing PDF. If you guys, I know I promote him a lot. No free pub, but he gets some good free pub. His PDF on his Instagram is amazing. So I would I would start there, to be honest. If you got a good time to read, there you go.
Is there ever a good time to read? Reading is for schmucks.
Jason, no. Come on
sorry.
now.
Sorry.
Hey. Whoa.
Sorry.
Whoa.
Sorry. I
Hold
can't do it, so I
it.
get
Hold
jealous.
it. Oh.
I can't read, so I get jealous. Making me feel bad, chat.
You can read. You
Well.
want answers? Oh, Bugman, I entered a contest. Nice. The Bug King, not the Bug Man. Hey, if you aren't able, by the way, great segue. If you guys aren't able to go to Adepticon this year, check out this link. Base Layer is holding the challenge, the Minis as Art Celebration, the online version that we are sponsoring. So go check that out. If you're not a part of that community, I would get on that community. Plus, that is our call to, if you can't get there, we want you to be able to participate. Isn't that right, Jason?
Whatever, dude. I'm painting.
Also, if you guys weren't aware,
Whatever, dude.
we are having a Minis as Art celebration at Adepticon this year, and I'm getting very excited, to be honest with you. And yeah, get ready.
Lots of fun stuff.
Get ready. It's gonna be fun.
Lots of fun stuff.
It's gonna be great.
Stuff is too effortless.
Yep.
It's literally one coat, boom, done. And I'm not really paying attention to much of, brush direction. It's really just coverage. Make sure you have a good coat across all the surfaces. I've been doing that by overloading, by putting a lot of paint down, because in my testing, I found that feels like where most people will be with how they apply these. As we've talked and watched, people, when they use the contrast style paints, they tend to treat it like a wash and just kind of flood the area. So that's what I've been doing. And it works very, very well. Of course, you will get better results on details than you will on big flat surfaces. Painting the sides of tanks with this is probably still going to be a little iffy on what you get, just because it's not built for that. if there's nowhere for it to go into recesses to give you variation of contrast, then it doesn't really perform what it's meant to do, and you'd be much better off using a normal paint. But other than that,
yeah, there you go.
He's not listening, chat. That's what he does when he's not listening.
No, I was.
Oh yeah, perfect. Great.
I was responding to
I
someone.
like that. That's great.
I was responding to someone in chat. That's the link right there. Go check it out. Into Jason. Hi, Jason. This looks amazing. I hear you and see you. As a fellow painter in...
Is this Chris talking to me?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
My name is Christopher. Thank you so much for inviting me to this stream. And hey, welcome in, everybody. We're so glad you're here. And guess what? We're giving away stuff.
Inviting you?
And everybody's like, oh my gosh, Chris, like, you don't do giveaways on Mondays. No one actually said that, but I knew it was coming at some point. So here you go, bam. We're bringing Mondays back. I don't know where they went to begin with, but they're here. And we do giveaways on Mondays as well.
He started today. He was all fired up.
Is that right, Jason?
I mean, I guess so. That's what it seems to be what's happening.
We're bringing Mondays back.
That seems to be what's happening.
It's a launch day. It's a fun giveaway day. Jason's going to town with these models. He's realized
what's happening here.
He's put too much black on that palette, so he's trying to get all this other stuff done.
You know that's true. I ain't wasting this paint.
That's what I was saying. I was like, oh no, we gotta paint the other stuff. Hey, so if you're not a part of the giveaway, you have to only do that once, chat. That's it. I think Jason sometimes thinks I'm like a 1950s radio in the background playing on an old AM channel.
Yes.
That's kind of how I like that canon to go in my head.
Yep.
Panic Bomb, since when do giveaways on Mondays? Today, Panic Bomb. I reserve the right to do them on any day I wish. To be fair, you did say giveaways can be any weekday. Thank you, Awkwardish. Thank you. Some people listen.
Huh?
Some people. Oh, there it is.
Son of a... Got him. Got him. Chris, what doesn't kill you makes you
weirder. No, strangers, technically what the Joker says. But who cares? You know what we're doing today?
Giving away stuff.
Whoa, okay. You heard him.
No, that was what you said.
I didn't say it, man.
You did.
I don't know.
All day you've been giving. Don't blame this on me.
There's a giveaway. Right there.
I can't handle this type of responsibility.
Oh, I thought you were going to say elder abuse, but
that also.
That is not happening here.
Also that. Stop abusing your elders, chat. It needs to be a hotline. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the what's the silver
sneakers?
No, the one where if you're like Amber Alert, Silver Alert.
Oh. Silver Alert?
Yeah, like if I'm old and if I leave the house and what the
Done up. Uh-oh. Hold for applause.
What the? Where do my lights go? My lights go.
Is it
Chat.
Too hot already?
Chat.
No, we don't turn the AC on.
It is hot. It's like 80 something today. The lamps don't like us, chat.
The first day of summer.
I don't want to hear that, Chris. You take that back. Chris said the first day of summer must be here. I need him to not say that out loud. I don't need to throw that out into the universe, as Jen would say. We don't need that kind of talk. It's actually going to get back down into the super nice weather range later this week.
That's very true. Jason the Weatherman.
I watched. I saw the guy do the thing and make no promises.
Do we even have winter here? No.
No,
really
it's not.
don't.
What is winter?
What is winter?
I wish we had a little bit more of what we call winter this year, though. I'm a little bummed out.
You know, like when people... Oh, yeah. It's going to be supposed to be cold and rainy this next week. Daniel Booker says, I just want to let you guys know your paint has changed my wargaming life.
Woo!
I love your paints, and I'm super stoked to the new pigments.
That's rad.
Much love. Hey, thank you so much.
Thank you. That's
Hey.
awesome. Thanks for telling us.
We're going to do a giveaway soon. No, Lumberjack, you have not missed it.
I want to know, I'm going to dig deeper on that one. What about your wargaming life has changed with the paints? Is it that it makes you like enjoy sitting and painting? When I hear the word wargaming in there, it makes me think, and I'm always wondering, like, people who game more than paint.
Right.
Is our paint a catalyst in helping you enjoy the painting part more? Because that's like the best compliment in the world. Not to lead you to say that that's what you meant, but
Yep.
you're out there. Help me understand. I thank you for coming in and
We
sharing
do.
that with us.
Daniel, let us know.
I want to know more.
You heard him.
I meet so many people that have said in various forums that, either I never painted as much and this makes me excited to paint, or, I used to paint a lot and then I stopped and this has really got me back into it. Whatever it is, I just love hearing it. This guy's hard.
I mean, he's cool.
He's all bent over in the big old sumo pose.
Hooch. He's got a cool mask. I like his face mask.
Oh, his?
Yeah, I do have to say these Uroni models have been
Aren't they rad?
They're
You've been
a
building
fun
some now.
size.
You've been
Daniel's
building some Tengu.
Yeah.
Where are those? At home still?
Yes.
Okay.
I got some Tengu. I've got a bunch of other stuff I'm building for you too. Apparently, you got more today.
Hey,
Hey.
so I need you to speak less about that and more about just, doing Chris things. You just sit over there and look pretty.
Okay, I can do that.
You just need to
50%
sit
of
over
the
there and
time.
look pretty.
Daniel
Stop.
says, I was a gray army guy, in quotes. Your
Okay.
paints have given me confidence because of how easy they are to use.
Awesome. That's what I
Awesome.
love to hear.
That's cool. Thank you so much, Daniel. We appreciate that.
100,000,000%. Thanks for giving us a shot. And I really love that you're enjoying painting more.
Yeah. Welcome to that side of the hobby. I was the same way. To start out, I was just getting paints.
He wanted to play, not paint.
That's it. That's 100% truth. I just wanted to get them on the table as quickly as possible. But then I switched to Pro Acryl, and now I work here. So that's the
Switch to Pro Acryl, get a job.
There you go.
That's what that story was. Proof is in the pudding.
I believe it, and I believe in the product because I love using it. So there you go. The Bug King says, another MAA question. How strict is the 300 entries this year? I've gotten some classes that may interfere with getting the entries in quickly.
How strict? What do you mean?
Well,
like if you come and I have
yeah.
space for you, I will let you in.
Yeah.
That's the way that goes. The 300 is based on what we would believe we have case-wise.
Yeah.
And then we will work from that. So if you don't worry about it too much, if you feel like you're going to be able to make it in, Friday, Thursday late, whatever, as long as we have space in the case that we can make for you, we will let you in.
Jason.
There's no charge this year.
Yeah.
We're doing it for free as we do this first year. The big one next year. So you'll learn everything about the big competition, the big open that we're going to be running at Adepticon in 2027. You'll learn more about that. We'll have all of that to show you there. Yep. This one is just more freeform and fun and loose. The judges are going to have a great time judging with some crazy prizes and some neat subjective things that we're doing. So, don't get too hung up on it.
Yeah.
But it's really to be the primer to prep you for next year. And next year's going to be off the hook. So
space in the case. I like that.
Space in the case. Good God, this stuff is great.
Good God, man. Hey, by the way, here's your 5-minute warning, chat. 5 minutes.
Wait.
5 minutes, and I'll be pulling for the giveaway.
Wait. What time is it?
It's 3:45.
No way, dude.
Yes, sir.
No.
3:45.
I don't know how you lie and change the clocks. I don't understand how this happens, Chad.
I didn't do that.
How did he go from just being 2:30 to being 3:45?
Well,
can somebody explain this to me? Because I think Chris is the enemy of fun and is trying to steal and sap our fun from our souls.
False. I run a tight ship. I'm the tight ship.
Oh, whoa.
Whoa, hey, yo. Well, that's okay. Exclamation mark giveaway. You do not need to type that. I need to type that. That link right there is how you get in to the giveaway.
So much paint, so little time.
Yeah, a lot of paint, Jason.
You got a lot of models to build for me.
I'm working diligently.
I bought him off, chat. He didn't know it. He thought he was getting a good deal, and then it was like, oh, I see.
This is a symbiotic relationship trade, though, I would say.
I like symbiotic lots better than slavery.
Here's the thing. You did me a favor, and I'm repaying my debt, right?
Well, I didn't have that as a plan.
No,
but I figured, isn't that better?
I think that's very fair of you.
I think
Plus,
it's right.
As I build these models, A, I get better building, and B, we have really good content for the viewers. So that at some point somebody needs to build the models.
Good God.
There's many. Somebody was just asking, can we get a video tour of Jason's pile of shame? And we should do that, Jason. If we ever need to move stuff around in the building, we should put everything in a pile and go over it.
I refuse.
Because that would be an amazing video.
I do have to admit that there's a store in town called Gamers Guild.
Yeah.
And Gamers Guild has their annual mercenary market, I call it.
Oh.
And I thought, for instance, about renting a couple of tables at the mercenary market and reducing the pile of shame.
Really?
Then I decided against it. Because you just never know when you might need that stuff, chat.
No, Jason, you don't. You don't need it. You don't need it.
Hey, you don't know, Chris.
You can always get something else later.
Hey, you know, that's not a very frugal way of looking at the world, Chris.
It is a frugal
to say
way.
that, you know what you can do, Jason?
What's
Anytime you want, you could just go spend more money on models.
No.
That is not that is not the kind of restraint we're here to teach.
Oh my
In this
gosh.
12-step program that we run here.
Hey, we know that there's a lot of hobby nerds out there in need. We get it.
We are not here to say that this is just a thing that you can promote and, oh, you need more models? Well, I have a guy.
Well, you keep doing that, though.
What?
You keep... Wait a second. You keep doing this thing.
What are we talking about?
You keep getting more.
What? More what?
Okay.
I don't understand.
You keep getting more models.
What are you talking about?
Conquest, in particular.
I don't understand what you're even... I don't understand the words that are coming out of your mouth, Chris.
I don't know, man.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
We got a lot of models.
Look at this black.
Yes. Did you take the models out of your trunk?
Look at...
You did. I think you did.
No, they're still in there.
You got to take those out of your...
I can literally pop the trunk for you as we leave the building today and show you the goods.
I live here. It's
Look
declared.
at how good this is.
All right, chat. One last call. Enter in your giveaway. I'm going to pick the list here in a little bit. I'm going to not pick the list. I'm going to run my little generator. Beep, boop, beep, boop, boop. And pick somebody at random. But you got to be in
by
there.
random, he means his favorite person.
You can't win if you don't play. And this is not gambling, by the way. We're giving... It's the opposite.
You can't win if you don't play.
We are giving you the stuff. That'd be great if that's how gambling worked, right, Jason?
What?
You just had to play and you just won immediately.
Oh, if you went to like Vegas?
Yeah.
Hey, I put $1 in the machine. I did not win, sir. Oh, well, let me help you with that, son.
Son? Yes. Son, that's legal.
I mean, we were dreaming.
That's true. Yes, son. Hey, exclamation mark giveaway right here. Quablam.
Can you super zoom?
Super zoom. Nice.
Look at my black.
That's how
Peer
awesome.
into my darkest soul of black.
It's very good.
It just gives you such a good base. You can see, like, in the light spots, I get some bluish.
It's very cool, Jason. Very cool black.
It's a very cool black.
It actually is an awesome black.
Very cool black.
I don't say that lightly.
It just gives that initial depth to black. And this is with it unthinned. You can imagine if you thin it, you can get a lot more out of it. Like if we were going to go and say, I'm going to paint his legs black.
Oh, yeah. You're just going for it now, aren't you?
Well, I mean, let me get some out here and I get some water.
Let's see where this goes. Jason, what are we giving away today? Just to remind everybody before we pull this one.
We are giving away a full set of the brand new Monument Hobbies Pro Acryl Weathering Pigments. 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 Was that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You did okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
Just tell my probate officer I did my best.
I won't.
I know.
I will for you.
No, you won't do anything for me. Look at that. With it thinned down. What?
All right, Jason.
What?
Are you ready?
What? You're just not even... look at the glorious color.
It looks amazing, but I have to run this ship. That's really cool.
Thinning them down, they don't lose their... Zoom in close. Give to me close. When you thin them down, they don't lose their adhesion or their flow properties. They just get more see-through.
That's cool.
Look how beautiful that is.
Man, this thing can really get in there.
Look at this. Look at the life.
All right. Jason, are you...
And this is just thinned with water, by the way. I'm still trying to teach. Chris is trying to give stuff away.
I have to give things away.
I'm just trying to teach. I'm trying to bring education to the people.
All right. The winner of...
What?
The winner of the Weathering Pigments full complete set is... Sulfur.
What? Congratulations.
Sulfur, speak up.
Congratulations. You must speak.
Are you out there,
To
Sulfur?
retrieve your prize.
Sulfur, you have to be here, though. That's the kicker. Sulfur, I know you're there. Sulfur.
Not the time for a poop break.
Not the time for a poop break. Otherwise, I've got to run the name again. Sulfur, I know you're here. Sulfur, are you there? That's very cool.
This is just water. Just a little water.
Sulfur, if you're not here. Sulfur, if you're not here, I've got to move on. I run a tight ship. I'll give you a little bit of time, but not much. Oh no. Sulfur. Going once.
Don't let this pass you by. Don't do it, Sulfur. Please, for the love of God, speak in chat.
Going twice.
Don't make us do it.
Going twice again. Sulfur. I know who you are. You're very active in here. But maybe you're not here today, and you got to be here to win. Sulfur. And, oh, am I going? Go.
Daddy picks other winners because you cry.
Sulfur, I'm so sorry. I have to move on. It's a tough life, Jason.
I mean, you know.
It's not. We're giving away free stuff. Sulfur, I'm sorry.
Goodness.
I have moved on to the next.
I'm just over here loving.
All right.
Thinned black. Who knew that I could achieve such greatness?
All right. The next winner is...
You better be here.
John Adams.
What? He's local. Pick again.
John Adams.
I bet it's the local guy.
It might be. John Adams, are you there?
John?
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 Do we know a John Adams?
Yep.
We know a John Adams.
John Adams is a great commission painter here in town.
John Adams, I know you're there.
Good friend of the brand.
John. You got to be here, right, Jason?
You got to be here.
Got to be here. I'm looking for you, John Adams.
No ifs, no ands.
John
no
Adams,
buts.
are you there? Oh no, Sulfur's in a meeting. I know, I'm sorry. We had to move on. Oh no. I've got one, Lumberjack Tim. Don't you worry. It's all up here. That's my legit timer. Going once. John Adams. Are you here? John Adams going twice. They're probably in the same meeting. Oh Oh no. John Adams. Oh.
John's going to be mad. I'm going to text him.
John Adams going third.
Like, I legit have that man's phone number.
I got to move on. Got to move on. I'm sorry.
If it's the same John. It's not like that.
It might not be the same John Adams.
Like, that could literally be anybody. Because that's kind of there's probably like 8 million of them in the phone book.
That's true. But
they still make
I also
phone books?
have the actual information. All right. The winner. The next winner is Brett the Programmer. Brent, I know you're here. Brent, are you there? Woo, there you are, Brent. I knew it. Brent, congratulations. You are the proud owner of a new set of weathering pigments. Come on, man, not the car.
Well, that's what you said earlier.
I did say the car.
I have to admit, I grew up watching game shows.
That's true. They're classic, man. Brent, I see you. Message me over on Discord. Brent, I know you. You're super active in our Discord, so hit me up. I'll make sure that gets out to you. Love and hearts for Brent.
Boy.
Jason's over here just having a spiritual moment with these paints, and I'm over here giving away the house.
Yeah, just thinning the black down a touch gives you such a good head start on like midtones and highlights if you want it.
Yeah. Congratulations, Brent.
You can layer it up again. Very nice. Me likey. Who knew we make good stuff, Chet?
Wow. What a day. How do you feel, Jason?
I feel excellent.
Hey, guess what?
Did we show off enough stuff?
We did.
Did the monkey dance?
And guys,
I danced.
Remember, after every VOD we do and every stream, go straight to our VODs tab on YouTube. So you didn't miss it. So go check it out. We have a lot coming up this year, don't we?
Holy. I mean, yes.
And on top of it, we're giving something away every year. So make sure you hit that link.
Every week.
Every week,
Even.
You're right. Not every year. Well, yes, we are giving something away every year, probably.
Even every
For the
week.
rest of time. Anyway, check it out, everybody. Jason, it's time. Take him out.
So, to John Adams.
So sorry. And so we gotta. Otherwise, everybody yells at Chris. Well, you gotta move on. We need a timer. Hoopity hoppity hoo. I get it.
Why does everybody in chat say hoopity hoppity hoo?
I don't know. I get it. We run a ship. I always want to give somebody the chance because I don't want to, but we gotta keep moving. Isn't that right, Jason? I don't know.
Vigilant, awesome. That's awesome to hear.
Hey.
Going to have to order these from your local supplier tomorrow if they have them in.
False.
Aha! Wirehead. They all of the orders got input today for pre-orders for stores, so they won't have them until probably end of the week.
They're coming.
But they'll be coming. Dude abiding is into the hand egg. Football. Jen and I watched the first half. Like legitimately sat there and watched the first half. Well, I did.
I played games.
I did with the dogs on me, and Jen just kind of sat there reading her book.
Yeah.
But it was on, and then she watched the commercials, which were
Nice.
not great, but whatever. Then I got tired of it and went and played video games.
There you go.
You saw the final score today? Yeah, I had to tune in at like 9 o'clock last night and be like, oh, yeah, ball game. Who won? Yeah, the football game was not great. It was pretty boring. Pretty boring. Which is, I mean, if you actually have the two best teams together, it could be boring. Or it could just be a score fest. Depends on if they have defenses, right? All right, everyone. Thank you so much. I hope your one day left on this earth.
Hey, Mondays are back.
Was that fortuitous? Are we going to get hit by a meteor?
No.
Oh, okay.
Mondays. Jason?
Mondays are so back.
Mondays are back.
Is that really what you want to do for Monday is bring it back?
Mondays.
If you had to choose something to bring back, you can't even pick a superpower yet. You want to bring back Mondays?
Mondays. I'm turning this puppy around. School bus.
Chad,
limo.
it was not on my 2026 bingo card to have to bring back Mondays. But hey,
It is now.
here we are. So we're bringing it back, chat.
Bringing Mondays back.
Mondays. Thank you for joining with us, watching some paint dry. I hope you had some fun. We showed off the new pigments. Papaya. We showed you some cool ways to use those, both dry, kind of as intended, and also with mediums, including with Noosh, which a bunch of people had questioned me about, and I'm really loving it. So I think Noosh is maybe the best application form for it.
I mean, I get my brain spinning.
In like for streaking and filtering and stuff, I think it works fantastic.
Yeah.
But then for like dry applications and standard stuff like turf and bringing up the environment on the foot, also just dry works wonders. And then various levels of wetness for more intensity. So excited to see what everybody comes up with for these. I'm going to be using a bunch of them on my Army Men, which is the February challenge.
We will be doing that this week, too.
Right, which we will be starting in on Army Men soon. That's going to be a lot of fun. So thanks for that. But make sure you join in on our Discord, the link that Chris just put in chat. We have nearly 7,000 amazing artists just like yourselves. Tons of inspiration. Good friends to meet. It's a fantastic place to just hang out, have fun. And we do a monthly challenge. It's a lot of fun. So we're going to be doing that. We're doing the week of the year of giveaways, where every week we find something else to give away, which is going to be great. Coming up pretty soon, you're going to want to be part of it because I am going to be giving away a set of the special sauce colors prior to Adepticon. You don't know when that's going to happen, so you better enter. That's all I have to say. Might give away 2 sets before Adepticon. You just never know. All right? But sometime between now and March, say, 19th, so it's only about a month. Somewhere in the next month, we'll be giving away a couple of sets or more of the new paints just to start getting them out there in the wild. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So make sure you enter the giveaway. You can click the link for the giveaway. You can enter it in any time of the day or night. And once you're entered, you're in for life. We own your soul.
Yep.
Not really, but... You can only win one of the 52 weekly giveaways, but you're entitled to win any of the quarterly and or the annual as well. So there is no limitation on those. So those are going to be the big ones. So we're going to have a lot of fun. That'll be the one that ends the end of March, which will be kind of at Adepticon. So we got to figure that out. Maybe we'll do it before we go to Adepticon, and maybe that'll be the special sauce one. Who knows? Anyway, we kind of make this up as we go. We don't have a plan.
I have a plan.
He doesn't have a plan.
Jason's like, what's the plan, Chris? And I go, this is the plan.
Well, he makes it up on the fly, which is not the same as having a plan.
This is not true.
That is kind of true.
I planned this whole thing out.
Well, okay. I'm not buying it. He did plan this one because he told me last week what we were doing.
The one
so I'll give you that. This one.
The one he just mentioned. No, we did not plan.
Right. Christmas is the full Christmas. The annual giveaway for this year is one of everything we make by the time the end of the year comes around. No joke.
Yeah.
You'll get one of every model. You'll get one of every paint, pigment, brush, tool, everything we make. Bag. Well, you got to say if you want one of every bag, but we'll send you one of every bag. You're gonna get one of everything.
One of everything.
One of it's thousands of dollars, chat, that you will be getting. Like thousands of dollars for the annual giveaway. So make sure to sign up and be there on December 31st. Whatever. That sounds like a long way away. We have a plan.
New Year's Eve.
We have a plan.
We'll let you guys know, obviously.
But everybody, thanks so much for hanging out with us and spending your valuable time hanging out with the Monument crew. We're glad to be back from the weekend. Hope you had a wonderful one and that your Monday is starting off really nice. Stick around. Chris is going to find you somebody to raid, so show some love in the chat we wind up in. And make sure to turn back in tomorrow where it's Chris and Jordan.
Yes.
Baby J.
Me and Jordan are going to be painting up some Legion tomorrow.
Baby J and Jordan on stream tomorrow. I will be out, and then I will be returning on Wednesday. Where? Drum roll. Chris learns non-metallic metal.
That's right.
So the next time you see me, my beautiful visage will be teaching.
He'll be over here.
That guy.
He'll be right over here.
That guy. I'll be producing. Yeah. I will man the noises. I will pay attention to you.
Let the record show there will be more noises that day than any day ever.
It is quite possible that the pickle will not stop.
Oh, my God.
The Unstoppable Pickle Wednesday, where Chris learns how to do non-metallic metal while being distracted by yodeling.
Oh, I will be so centered.
We haven't really lined out the challenge for him because we don't have a plan, but he's in the hot seat, Chet.
No, we have a plan.
It'll be fun. Fun for the whole world.
You're going to teach me. That's
so
the plan.
Thank you so much. Stick around. Raid somebody.
We will.
Right? We're getting out of here. We'll catch you back here tomorrow with Chris and Jordan, and then I'll see you back here on Wednesday. Adios, chat.